Investors today certainly have plenty to worry about, and that includes us as portfolio managers. I'm always reminded at inflection points in the market, things are not necessarily bad, they can be bad or good. And as an example, when you get central banks easing, which is now what the market is pricing in, more often than not, that leads asset markets to rally, to move higher, except when it's followed by a deep recession. And then they go a lot lower. And that's just one example of many where you can create either a very bullish or constructive argument or a bearish one. And that kind of defines markets when you're at stages like this. Inflation has fallen. Will it keep falling? Will that allow central banks to get much more friendly? Will the geopolitical risks go up or down? Will we get a hard landing or maybe a soft landing? These are all critical questions. These are not the questions that you normally just can kind of brush aside and move on. These are fundamental to the outlook for bond yields, for equity prices, for credit spreads, for currency markets. And I think the amount that's actually happening in the world today tells me, don't get anchored. Have a view. Look at what has worked time in, time out to kind of predict, where things are going. I'm encouraged by the fact that today we have bond yields that are much higher than they have been historically, or at least in the last decade. We went from yields that were the lowest they've been since the time of the pharaohs, to be honest, to yields that are now quite attractive. Bonds actually make sense. You can include them for diversification. You can include them for income. And you can now kind of vary the amount of risk and return that you want in a lot of different bond solutions to get yields that are actually very, very attractive. So the return potential, I think, looks strong from high quality bonds. The return potential for riskier parts of the market could actually be good by the time we sit down next year. It's important, though, that we avoid that hard landing. So that's kind of what keeps me up at night. It's what keeps our clients awake at night. How do you navigate these really tumultuous times? You're seeing lots of pressures begin to emerge, the banking sector, real estate and property, a lot of these headlines, they may mean something for the bigger economy, they may not. So stay nimble. I hope you listen with eagerness to the comments that you hear today and can make sense out of this difficult environment.